friend of the site, Xavier Woods, in this Waluigi-ass suit over here. I like it.
Hey, come on, look at you. You got this little Kratos cosplay you got going on? That's right. Okay. I'm working with what I got right now. All right, there we go.
Hi, I'm here in New York City. I'm about to hop on a bus to Stamford, Connecticut. If you're a Giant Bomb fan, you might know that for a while I left Giant Bomb and moved up to Stamford, Connecticut to work for World Wrestling Entertainment. I say work for, but they really just kind of paid me to have Zoom calls with the New Day from my closet during a pandemic. So it's a little bit different now. They have a new headquarters, but I'm going to take that bus up there. There's going to be wrestlers there. There's going to be a video game. Let's go.
Hello, folks. I wanted to talk with an expert after spending the day at WWE headquarters playing the new wrestling video game. And so there's no one I know that knows wrestling games more than the host of the only podcast I listen to. That's right, the Deadlock podcast, also from New Legacy on Twitch and YouTube. That's right, we have John Blood. John, come on in here. What's this? Oh, McGrew. Thank you. Thanks, John.
Oh, no problem.
You know what? I really do appreciate the gesture.
No, I know you do.
I do. I do actually have one already.
No,
so,
I know.
No, but thank you very much.
No,
yes,
I know.
Thank you.
I actually also have a lot of these.
Dan, okay, weird second question, Dan. Dan, you didn't send me an Xbox controller, did you? An Xbox controller and it says a gift for John, and you got an Xbox controller, you should open it.
Open it now.
No.
Open it right now.
Do it now. Open it now. I need to know now.
This can't be from Dan. I imagine this is from, so he just fucking...
No, you need
don't
to
know
open it. Is it? Did I call it?
God!
Did I call it?
God damn it! What is... Fuck you, Dan!
What is it?
Dude, he said it's a fucking it's an Xbox Elite Series 2 controller case.
Yeah.
I open it up. Inside, there's 3 copies of MacGruber. Fuck you, man. Fuck. What the fuck, dude? Dude.
Hey, John. Hope you're doing well, man. I wanted to get you a little something. How about a copy of MacGruber?
One and only warning. Watch MacGruber. Recognize that.
Watch the movie MacGruber.
Oh, I didn't know you were a fan, too.
No, I'm not.
That's great. Oh, you're not.
I'm not a fan. You keep sending these to me. You brought me 3 of them on this trip. I've been here 2 days. I have 3 of these.
I was at the event. I believe I saw Mr. Xavier Woods give you a copy.
Well, hey, hey.
Yes.
Consolation prize. I got a movie you should watch.
No!
No way.
I saw a security guard at WWE headquarters give you a copy.
What is happening? Why is there another one? Where is... No!
And you walked around with one in the hood of your hoodie.
Okay, it was put in my hoodie.
John, that's not what this is about. Thank you for the offer, but yes, thank you. It's a good movie. It's a great movie. John.
Yes, that's me.
You're an expert.
That's very polite. I mean, I have a lot of experience in all these games. It's a lifelong thing I've done. I've made a career of it, I guess you could say.
You've got to be in the upper echelon of people who know wrestling video games, I would say. Lots of people play them, but you've made a good chunk of your career has been on wrestling video games.
I thoroughly played a majority. I own also a majority. I own over 200 wrestling games in my collection.
The collection. It's very impressive. Yes.
So this is true. So, and this is another year. This is my 5th time at a 2K event. So you've been to more events than I have.
Well, the thing is, I've done a bunch of the hey, we're doing a thing where we go to the SummerSlam suite or something like that.
Sure.
But it's this is the first time I've actually really sat down with a display capture thing and everything.
Oh,
and I played a lot of the game.
Yes.
And so that's why I really wanted to talk to you about this, because it's I play all of these games. I've been playing wrestling games since I guess Royal Rumble on the Genesis was my first one, and pretty much all of them since then, you know. And I have always struggled with, I would say, all of the, even before 2K, the THQ ones.
Okay.
You know, I remember giving like WWE 12 a low score Game Informer, getting some heat for that and everything. So it's like, there's something about it's the simulation thing.
You're not a fan.
Right. Like, is that something you find a lot within like the wrestling game community? Is like some people are just hardcore, like, I want Fire Pro and Aki games, and like some are like, no, I love the 2K stuff.
There's definitely a big divide. I mean, the further we go into there being more 2K games than not in history, and obviously, you know, everyone I'm sure knows the games you grew up with are always the best. Sure. So like, you know, there are people
actually, Royal Rumble is not the best for the Genesis.
It is not.
That game
That's
is
a horrible game.
That sucks ass.
But you have a soft spot for it.
Yeah,
and, you know, a lot of people look at that. A lot of wrestling games that I am not a fan of. I mean, notoriously, if anyone knows me, I hate SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. But there's shooters now for that. There's people that are very mad.
People that were 9 years old when it came out.
Yes, correct. Yes. And that's their game. And so that's how, you know, the scene is kind of a lot, you know, for now, 2K's had the license since 2K15. So we're...
Well, didn't they technically get it like right before 2K14 came out? Because like,
correct.
It's called 2K14, but it was so
it was
late,
still the same. It's still the same engine, still Ukes pretty much. And then 2K15 was their first real one, which... That's another one now. I know I'm old. 2K15, I hate it.
Well, because that was the one, if I remember right, it was the first on the new generation of consoles.
Correct.
And so it was a Cena cover.
Yes.
And that was super bare bones.
It was very bare bones, but now it's been around long enough. There's people that love 2K15.
John, I think young people might be stupid.
That's true.
Yes.
And I didn't know that until I got older.
Right.
So the people that are young that might not like hearing that, they are too stupid to know.
John,
that they are young.
You're a bit younger than me. What does that say?
Well, I never said I was the brightest. You know, I play wrestling games for a living. I'm not that very smart.
I play like
I got
Donkey
into
Kong.
the wrestling business. Also, not a good idea.
We're a couple of geniuses here, basically. That's what we're saying.
But you know, we're at least, you know, we've been around long enough that people look to us for maybe some knowledge.
Well, so and that's what I want to do is because like I want to take my experience today, bounce it off you, and see if I'm kind of right with this. So. The main thing that I took away from that, like, you know, I've talked about, I don't love the simulation stuff or anything, but like, there is so much shit that's very front loaded. I know once you get past kind of the tutorial and stuff and everything, but like, you can't, there's 8,000 tiles on the screen. You load it up and there is just, you know, some of them are just options or jukebox or whatever, but you know, you got your MyRise, you got your universe, you got your showcase. I mean, these things have been around before.
Correct.
But it's like, I would go into, like, is it My Faction one with all the cards?
Yes, that's right.
You go in there and it was like comical. It was like a sketch or
like
something.
A casino.
It is just insane at like, because this has been going on for a while. And like, I don't play like NBA 2K or anything, but my understanding is that it does this stuff too.
I think, you know, that's, you know, all those, you know, it's a very sports game, especially. Yes.
It's a 2K thing. It's
that is especially EA does kind of their version of it as well with you know, like that stuff, but it is a very 2K thing for sure.
It was just unreal. Like you go into one of those tiles in My Factions, like you can open up these 5 cards, and then it's like, okay, check this out, and this card has these 3 stats on it, and you can swap these things out, and then here's a place you can buy a new VC, and here's the thing where you got the super duper edition, so you get to unpack this thing.
Yes.
Like I feel like it was so aggressive in this one that to me, it was way worse than I've ever seen. Like, does that track for what you've seen?
So I didn't play with it at this event, but previous games, at least the last one I had a little more experience with. I watched James Darnell, who's, you know, co-host of the Deadlock podcast. He was actually playing it just to try it. He was like, I want to see like what actually this is. And when you actually play it, if you enjoy playing against the CPU in a 2K game, you actually might not mind this mode because there's not really it's not like a mobile game wall where like you have to,
if you don't spend money,
right? There is stuff like that, but it doesn't cripple your experience. You can play that for a really long time before there's any kind of like wall. There is some stuff that, you know, if you want to unlock a certain version of, like, let's say like they had a TNA AJ Styles in the last game.
Sure.
There's, you know, certain cards that you need to unlock the event to get that, to which you have to get through packs.
Sure.
So there is stuff like that. It is, you know, you could say is on that level. So it's a mix.
Sorry to interrupt, but is it like to get those packs, like can you get it just through, because this is like a $70 game, can you just do that and then there's nothing gated as long as you're willing to grind, like you can get everything?
It is a grind though.
Okay.
So it's like you know, the amount of hours you would put in is heavy.
Okay.
Obviously, and paying would be obviously easier. It's definitely not a mode for me.
Right. Okay. And that's the thing is like, you were big on like MyGM and Universe mode, or are you still in like
Universe mode? I wasn't as much in the 2K games, maybe earlier games. I've danced around the universe, but I'm familiar. My GM, I'm huge on. A lot of online multiplayer stuff is kind of my wheelhouse, just because I'm often playing with people. Like at some point, I just stopped wanting to do anything by myself.
Sure.
Single player games were not for me anymore, and I said I just want to do stuff with my buddies forever.
Which, speaking of that, check out on New Legacy. New Legacy Inc. is the YouTube channel, right?
INC.
Me and Johnny and Macho T did a
Hell in a Cell.
A Hell in a Cell. It was a AAA lucha match in Anchorage, Alaska.
Anchorage, Alaska.
Hell in a Cell. Goldberg versus Maxine Dupree versus Penta. It was a barn burner. It had floating tacks. It was
everything
great.
Goes wrong, which you would come to expect if me and you were together.
Yes,
and Macho, of course, as well.
It was a lot of fun. Yes. You did not play the showcase, did you?
Not this one.
Okay.
No.
So I played it.
Okay.
And here's I'm kind of a showcase guy. So I'm the guy that if I get a Mortal Kombat game, I play through the story mode.
Yep.
I have a good time.
Yep.
I don't ever become an expert at it. I just like to see the silly stuff, do my special moves, and move on.
Sure.
I don't play online or anything. So showcase is kind of that for me with these games. I like the historical aspect.
I play every showcase as well.
Yeah, I like the kind of documentary aspect. There's things that we've talked about that we don't love, where it's like, oh, here's where I put the controller down for 4 minutes, and
okay, so did you get any of that when you played?
Yes. So here's the thing.
Okay.
Every complaint I've ever had about showcase mode was immediately worse than ever when I started this one up, because it starts up and you're just watching kind of it's not the real footage thing, which I kind of didn't love that either.
Sure.
But it's the in-engine stuff of the triple threat from Mania with Seth, Roman, and Punk. And it's right away I'm like, oh great, it's one of these showcase matches where I just have to lose. Which I understand they're telling a story. They're doing it's not like an alternate history thing. So it's okay, great. So it's I'm just playing. It's so weird to play a game where you're fighting and you're going to lose.
You know the
end.
outcome. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Just weird to me. Which is weird. I guess that's how wrestling is. They know they're going to lose.
Of course.
But it's one of those things where it's very specific objectives. Where it's right away, it's okay, you need to get Seth down and do your signature elbow drop. And it's but it's a triple threat match. So triple threat matches in showcase modes drive me insane.
I mean, they're tough in general.
The
against the AI.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's Roman's the AI. So it's I can't tell you how many times I'm just fiddle farting around trying to fucking get Seth on the ground and shit can Roman out of there so I can just drop the elbow.
Right.
And every stupid thing that could happen is happening.
It will happen.
And it's it's literally one or two of the objectives. So immediately, showcase match I'm going to lose, long thing I'm watching, I have to do an objective, that AI is fucking me up because it's a triple threat.
Right.
And I'm right away. I was turning to people
That's
next to me
heavy.
oh, I don't like this one bit.
No, that's heavy.
And it's also, it's it's Punk focused, and Punk is Punk. And it's
Sure.
look, I understand. I have been a fan at times too.
Sure.
But it is they're going very heavy-handed on all the dialogue stuff with him. It's I'm anti-authority. I don't like middle management. I'm an anarchist. I don't follow the rules. And it's all right, man. It's just we just saw you fucking
Where are you working?
Yeah, you're gonna go.
Sorry, Suits. You can call for whatever you want, but I'm not going to start listening to middle management now.
Go talk to some plants in Saudi Arabia again. It's all right, yeah, I'm a nonconformist, you square. Shut the fuck up. So it's just it's a lot of, and I just saw a couple of those.
Of
and
course.
It's oh god, there's gonna be a lot of him doing this shit. And I know he's not just riffing. I'm sure that's them writing it. But
I mean, for all intents and purposes, I think that's him, right? I think he would say that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously a lot of it is put on.
Well, his addiction is wrestling.
That's
Johnny.
-2.
Yeah.
Yours is 40s.
I like you more than I like CM Punk.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Not a lot of people. More people would not say that. Most people don't know me.
I much prefer you. Yeah. It's that was the match. You're good. That was the match I did, and it was just it was a bad starting point. I'm curious to see what they do with I know they've got Ring of Honor era Punk in there. They got the AFI song and stuff like that. So it's I'm curious how much they do as far as are we going to do some Ring of Honor era stuff, which is obviously not the license and things like that. I will play through it when it comes out.
Me too.
But it was the worst first impression I could have got.
Yeah. So by the way, the ROH Punk, I believe, I don't even think you can get in Showcase.
What?
I think it's unless Twitter, the information I saw was wrong. I believe he's a MyRise unlockable.
Ah, fuck.
Which you would think he would be an unlockable in the CM Punk showcase.
Well, which is weird too, because actually they did do something here that I think is kind of smart.
Okay.
I'm curious how the implementation of it is. There's a gauntlet option. So when you go into showcase, you can just be if you don't want to do all these objectives and stuff, if they drive you nuts like they do me, there is an option where you can unlock everything, but it also seems insane.
Okay, so my thought on that, I saw that and I said, cool. I like the idea of, if I really didn't want to do this, I have an option. Then I thought about it and I said, maybe it's a little insane that there is a mode that they know people don't want to play. And they are keeping the mode and just giving you a way around playing this mode instead of finding a way to make the mode better.
Yeah, so it's a gauntlet mode, and it's basically every single person that he fights, which is weird because the first guy I fought was the Fiend. And
it might be random. It actually might not be tied to.
Well, they had folks that worked on the game.
Oh,
and they were like, it's all the guys that you fight. That was my
Oh.
impression. And but I think they do some like fantasy warfare stuff or whatever. Because it's like I don't remember Punk and Wyatt.
No, I don't.
Certainly not Fiend.
No,
Wyatt
no,
have been.
I don't think so. Yeah, but. Again, yeah. So I think it's like 20 people, right?
It is, and
in
you
a
can
row.
pick, and you can pick Punk or AJ because they have the intergender matches this time.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So it's like,
but I don't think there's any different rewards or anything for.
No, you get all the showcase stuff.
The same thing, but if you pick Punk
stuff.
or AJ,
I believe so.
Okay,
Yes. And don't quote me on the thing
course.
of like like I do think it's supposed to be all the guys you face in the gauntlet. That's what they told us. But like, I don't remember seeing that like listed or anything.
But that was my thought. Is like, cool, but there's got to be some. If that mode is if so many people have said we don't want to play this to get all this rewards, that you have to make a whole different option so people don't play it. Maybe it's time to revisit why this mode exists or what we can do with it.
Yeah, and speaking of modes that I don't know if people are a fan of, they did the Island last year.
Okay.
Which to me was a baffling, it seemed online focused, and I am all for them doing wacky bullshit in these games. I think that is an interesting thing to do.
Yes.
Like it's a supernatural element, and like there's this whole narrative where Kathy Kelly's like,
stories.
Shit's crazy on the island, and Roman's glowing and stuff. Like, it's like, all right, yeah, I'm cool with that. Like the old stories where like the Undertaker was doing spooky shit. Like I like that shit. Where it falls apart for me is when you just have to go and bell to bell, like all these modes, you can get as wacky and fun as you want. But then it's like, if you don't like the core wrestling, which I don't really.
And that's kind of what ultimately a lot of it boils down to. Like I was talking to you before we did this, that a majority of the stuff I do is with my friends, online or with, people that I do content with, yada, yada, yada. Usually are my friends as well. So I might have a little different view of how I look at the gameplay only because, when you're doing stuff with your friends, more times than not, it's like, okay, by default, this will be a good time. Yeah. So I pass it on to, okay, if this is a good time, this must be a good, experience. But I can't tell you how, like, I don't, same with, the Island, MyRise, any stuff like that, even Showcase, playing against the CPU is super not fun.
No.
Like, there's times, you can mess with the sliders. That's an option, like to mess, make the AI do this. And I think that they may have done more of that this year where you can kind of do sequences and combos and stuff like that, options-wise, which might enhance that. But I just don't, there's games that I do like doing that in. Fire Pro. Everyone knows if you're, if you want to have a great match against the computer, Fire Pro. Even, older games, Here Comes the Pain.
Yep.
Fast matches. Fight Forever people don't love. I love playing Fight Forever against the AI. I think it's quick, fun matches, again, but in terms of 2K games, we're closer to something that I like against an AI than we are compared to 2K15. Or, stuff like that. But it is still like I gotta play against the goddamn Rock again.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like, I do think it has gotten, it is so much better now than it was in the late 2010s.
Yes.
Everything since 2K20, I think has been a step in the right direction.
For sure. I love 2K20, by the way.
Yeah?
Because it was a mess and it was great for me.
I'm sure it was very good for your content. Yes. The thing is that even as it has been getting better, I still feel like every time I'm wrestling a match in this game, and maybe it's just because I'm a casual or whatever, I'm just looking over my fucking head for a Y prompt.
That's true.
That's so much what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then I'm just getting reversed. I'm just like, none of it's satisfying. Even like when you hit a counter or something like that, there's not a lot of weight to it or snappiness.
No, it's kind of like a flat animation of like, here's a jawbreaker.
Yeah, it's like I guess I'm glad I didn't get hit, but it's like that didn't feel, it's not like hitting a parry in Sekiro or something.
I didn't earn anything. Yeah, right.
And so like, that's the thing too, is they added 4 match types here, right?
Yes.
So we got Inferno match, Dumpster match.
I Quit.
An I Quit match, and a 3 Stages of Hell, which is kind of
a compilation of matches.
Yeah, so basically 3 new types and one where you can kind of shove them all in there.
Yes, exactly.
And they all kind of do the thing where it's like kind of a mini game at the end. Like they've done this in the past with like ambulance matches. And I did an Inferno match. That's a fucking weird one. Because it's like, and also I'm curious, because did you see the last match of the tournament at this event?
No.
It was an Inferno match. They did a tournament with prizes and
Yes.
stuff. The last match was an Inferno match between Roman and Cody. and it went on for like over half an hour. Because like they just kept like, the mini game and stuff, they were just good. And so it's weird. There's an inferno meter that fills up as you like slam
moves.
it. Yeah, as the flames.
So if you're reversing a bunch, that meter is probably not moving.
Right, like you have to like do power bombs and suplexes and
finishers,
stuff like that. Yeah,
that'll proc it a lot.
And then it gets high up enough, and then it's like you got to kind of like just get them to the ropes. It's almost like doing like a rumble elimination or something.
You have to drag them to the ropes.
Yeah, I did Haku versus Logan Paul.
Okay,
and I was Haku,
of course,
and I threw Logan over, and it's like they don't catch on fire either.
No, and I think that might be because they're not allowed to show that.
I believe that,
and but if you can't,
don't. Put the mode
That's
in.
all I want to see is somebody on fire.
Yeah, I just shit-canned Logan over, and he kind of like bumped his ass on the apron, and then it's like they just show guys with fire extinguishers, and Haku wins.
So I will say the one thing they did do that I thought was cool, unrealistic because it doesn't really happen that much, but you can go outside the ring any point before the Inferno meter goes, so you can get weapons. So you can get weapons, yada yada yada, which is cool, but it's like you said, just like last year they introduced the casket match, this year dumpster match. All these matches are, I will play them one time and then I will never touch them again.
Yeah, do people even mess with them online at all, or like I can't imagine?
Because they're mostly singles.
Yeah,
so, and more times than not, people are doing multi-man matches online and stuff. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, but yeah, more usually not. Yeah,
yeah. Dumpster match is the exact same thing, where it's like you go out
legit
there,
just
you
a casket match.
Yeah, you just hit LB, open up. Yeah, I didn't even think about it. It's obviously just a
reskinned casket match. Yeah.
Which I guess is like, look, if you are obsessed with universe mode and you want to make all these cards, or
some
historical
options.
cards and stuff like that, you could do that.
Right.
It's just like,
but it just feels like it's padded. You know, it's just they ran out of things to put in. And,
at this point, they're just like any match that's ever really like Kennel from Hell hasn't happened,
right?
But, yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be fantastic. That's
Triple
true.
Cage,
yes, is that's a big one.
That'd
be awesome. Yes. We're gonna watch that soon.
We are. I was there. I was Slamboree 2000. I was there.
Yeah, I mean, but I assume there's always hey, a new game, we need new matches. Yeah. What can we get? That's reskin the casket.
Well, that's the thing, like if there's a word I had to think of with this game the whole time I was playing it today was bloat. Like I feel like everything, like all the bullet points, like 400 roster members.
Oh my god!
All these new matches, everything I was talking about before with all the crazy
4
menus
of the
stuff.
game. Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like I thought when they announced all that, they showed like here's the Monday Night Wars and the Attitude Era one. I was like, oh, interesting. I guess they haven't done it since 13. The like Attitude Story mode. And I was wait, no, Punk is the showcase. So it's like these are just like JPEGs. These are just like covers, and like somebody told me it's not even like physical.
I think I told you that. Yeah, there's no physical. The only physical one is Punk. The rest are digitals. So like if you want,
yes. Does it show up on your like homepage of your like PlayStation or like your dashboard? Like
no, actually no, because it's all the same.
What the fuck is
it? If you own, it's just
you just get a card pack with like fucking 98
it gives
rock
you
or whatever in it?
a ton of the unlocks.
Oh man, that's weird to
Ringside
me.
Pass. Stuff like that.
That stuff, yeah. The AAA ringside patch and all that stuff. Yeah. It's just bloat. That was the word. It's more. And I guess it's like people are buying these games, obviously.
Sure.
So if you like that stuff in the past or you tolerate that stuff in the past, like it's gonna happen again.
Yes.
And more of it. But it's like it's just so much. And like I'd say when I don't like the core gameplay, I was struggling today.
Of course. Yeah, sure. And I do think, despite, how I feel about this, that, and the other, I do think we're closer to a game that everyone will be like, okay, they got it on this one.
Sure.
Which, how many years in a row of, they'll get it right next time, should you have to go through. But I do think there's glimmers of hope of stuff that I see them putting in. Like we did entrances in the Hell in a Cell one, where they added the option that you can set off your own pyro. You can do the emotes where you do crying phases and stuff like that.
We spam that shit so much.
It was so funny. It was so fucking funny. So there's stuff like that that's like, okay, maybe there's like a battle going on here where like maybe there's different, a lot of cooks and there's a lot of directions and they have to appease these different directions. And maybe the more it goes on, I think the more of you can kind of tell, okay, this, and this are stacking up in terms of this feels like it's going towards somewhere where maybe they want to go.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's so much stuff that is completely out of their hands, especially when you were working with a company like WWE and all of the stuff in the game is their IP, and they're a company that has historically been very protective of their IP, their characters, their everything. That's got to be tough. And so, like, I'm sure this is all stuff they've thought of, and know of it. Like, it's got to be a really fucking tough game to make.
Oh my God.
Any game is, but.
And I mean, wrestling fan myself, we are fucking pains in the ass.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, So they get super unlucky. I mean, I'm sure you saw, I don't know if you saw Obafemi's entrance got shown.
Yeah.
And his model was outdated and his entrance was old. He kind of didn't have as much swagger. They got railed.
Really?
They got railed. And you know, stuff like that. And like, maybe they should be. Maybe they should get railed. I mean, they should know. They probably knew, but who knows what the deadlines are? Who knows what this, that, and the other?
And wrestling, you know, changes, you know, themes, taunts, so whole gimmicks and everything.
Oh my God. And that happens every year to these games.
Yeah.
There's always something new that's happening before launch. So again, you know, you try to give them leeway.
Yeah, of course.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, I still want to have fun.
Yep.
You know, ultimately, that's what we all want to do is have fun with these things. Stuff like MyRise, I've played many of the MyRise. That's their career mode if anyone doesn't know.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, I'm a big season mode guy. I love all this stuff in all the old games as well. But for the past few years, for a while now, in the 2K ones, it's just a drag.
Yeah.
It's a drag. I have to go here, talk to this person, and it leads to this match that I don't care about. Then there's a loading screen for 10 minutes, and then I got to go to another conversation I don't really want to have.
You were gone for like 2+ years. The time I got to spend with my family was worth it. But now, I'm ready to show them what Dad can do in the ring.
Check your social media feeds. And,
They try to throw a lot at you, but when you're, you know, in the first hour, that's probably exciting, right? It's like, oh, wow, bleep, bleep, bloop. Talk to this guy, do this. Wow, there's a lot to do. 8 hours in, wow, I'm so fucking sick of this cell phone shit.
Yep.
I'm so sick of talking to this person, these side missions, yada, yada. Like, what path am I supposed to take? How long does this got to take? A lot of that is fucking annoying.
More is not always better. And
No.
I think that is one of the main issues I have with this game
Yes.
is it's, I think, a lot of bloat, a lot of more. I just, you know, I want... Video games and wrestling are my fucking things. They have been my things since as long as I can remember.
That's all I've ever had.
This is our life.
Yes.
And of course, I would love there to be better options or more my speed, like more weird. You know, try All Stars. I mean, they also fucked this up. They tried it with 2K Battlegrounds and things like that. And it's like, you know, somebody. Well, I was actually working there when 2K Battlegrounds came out. I know I didn't have that right.
Sure,
but yeah, they brought me in to play that before, and I was like,
it was okay. So I will admit, I did like it at first.
Yeah,
it was just not enough. There was so few moves. There were so few things to do, and they were also so slow on the draw, which I imagine, again, dealing with this, that, and the other company is hard. They were so slow on the draw to fix things, implement new things. Game was destined to die.
And like, I feel like you could like master all the characters in like 2 matches.
Yes,
it's like very, very low skill ceiling on that.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
so
but you know,
that's all to say. I just want different options because, like, you know, they keep adding stuff, they keep changing stuff, and like, it's still not for me. I want it to be good. I would love to love these games, but yeah, I left this being like, yep, I'll beat Showcase. You know, I'll make a character again, do a stream with it, do a quick look for Giant Bomb. You know, but wasn't for me. So, are you just kind of to wrap it up? Did you? Is this pretty much what you expected?
100%.
Okay.
It's if you like the last game, you will like this game just a little more.
Okay.
Because it's the last game with improvements.
Sure.
And that's kind of how it always is, you know, especially yearly release. You know, you're not going to get too many major things. I mean, there's, you know, a few things here that I didn't touch, but I did see like they did something which, you know, if you're a fan of, you know, playing simulating matches, I know they added an option where you can kind of tell the match to wrap up.
Interesting.
So, you know, you go in and like, you know, if the match is going too long, you can go in and tell them to wrap
the
up.
Hezo button.
Yep. And then it gives them like max finishers so they can kind of start doing shit and go home.
That's cool. I like that.
There's a bunch of stuff that like I said, I can see that they're close.
They're trying.
There's something there.
Yeah.
But if I do think it's an issue of there is not always one direction. And sometimes the game doesn't feel like it knows what it wants to be. And that's an issue. It has an identity problem, I think, sometimes.
Yep.
But if you like the last game, you'll have no qualms, if not like this one more, just because it's the last game with some, you know, some shine on it. Yeah. Stuff like the island, like you mentioned before, I didn't get to touch on that. But I did see that the island, you know, before it was like there is a story mode in it.
Yeah, you pick like the Order of Anarchy, including CM Punk, because he's an anarchist. Did you know he doesn't like the rules? Like, yeah, so he's the Order of Anarchy, and then you got like the Spooky Crew, the Order of Shadows.
Yes,
it's like Rhea and Uncle Howdy. And
so I think last year they had, you know, text cutscenes.
Yeah,
Now I do believe they have voiced.
They do.
cutscenes.
I talked to Rhea Ripley and Jonah Hex or Dolores Hex or something.
Okay,
some
sure.
little lady that could like
Yes.
warp time or something. It was weird. It was
Which
some,
to
like,
me, I think that's an improvement.
I want spooky weird, not spooky, like just weird shit.
Yeah,
and this was
but
weird
I think
shit.
just in voiceover stuff is something a lot. Especially they've done the text bubble stuff for a while, and I think it's notoriously like, damn, I wish I could just fucking hear somebody say what's going on here.
I don't need tarot cards to tell me that I'll be seeing you in the ring.
I'm sure our tiny murder ferret is anxious for the bell, but if you'd like to freshen up, feel free to acquaint yourself with the locker room first. You can change your gear or think through anything new you might want to try in the ring there. Then, when you're ready, you can head to the arena. Can't wait to see how you do.
So like, there's weird stuff. I'm like, oh, that might be like in my wheelhouse.
Sure.
Like maybe
that
that's
might be
like,
fun to make.
That might be a
videos or
group, like
stream.
the
or-
silly mode now is maybe island or whatever.
I think
But
there's a spot for that for sure. Yeah.
that's also a mode that's like you should pay for this to get cool shoes.
Right.
You should get
Here's
these
like a literal
stats.
store where you can come and you can buy different
exactly. So
masks
it's,
and yeah.
But again, it's back, so it must have did well.
I guess the long and short of it is it's kind of what you expect. It's a little bit better in some ways, but if you didn't love it before, you're probably not gonna love it now. If you liked it before, you'll like it now.
No
So
surprises here.
it'll make them money. So I'm sure they're totally fine with that.
It's
So-
it won't hurt your feelings if you like the last one.
Right. Okay. That's a rave review from John Blood. Thank you so much, John, again,
Of course,
from
buddy.
the Deadlock Podcast
Yes.
and New Legacy Inc. on YouTube and Twitch.
Yes, sir.
Yes, check them out. Seriously, only podcast I
Oh,
listen to. It
thank
is
you so much.
fantastic.
I very much appreciate that, buddy.
Thanks,
you.
sir.
Of course, thank you.
You know, a lot has changed since I worked here. This is a very different company than it was just a couple of years ago in a lot of ways. But one of the things that has stayed largely the same is the games. I think since 2K22, they have gotten better after the disastrous 2K20, but it's still never been for me, really. I don't like the simulation approach that much. And one thing that just keeps getting worse based on what I've seen here is just that NBA 2K-ification of everything, all that bloat, all those different ways to give 2K your money, all these boosters and card packs and extraneous modes and things like that. Not my thing. I kind of want to get in there. Like I love a big roster. I love a lot of match types and things like that. But man, you just look at some of those menus and everything and the non-stop tutorials and all that stuff. It is very, very aggressive. If you tolerated that stuff in the past, you'll probably tolerate it this time if you're the type that just buys these year after year and you want your roster updates and the music to all be updated and everything. It's got all of that. Obviously, there's an audience for it. I don't really think it's been me in the past, and I don't think they're necessarily going to get me with this one.
A lot's changed since you left WWE. Let's be real. I'm not sure you even belong here anymore. So do yourself a favor. Turn around, pack up your stuff, and go home.